Hey guys, welcome back to Excellency Heavy League. We are getting straight into picks and bans so that we can get straight into the action between these two playoff hopefuls. My name is DJ, and I am joined here on the analyst desk for this draft by Juicebox Guy. We bait and switched you with Necrox earlier. Psych, it was actually Juice the whole time in a Necrox disguise. Here he is now in his true form.
Yeah, I put on a little weight and got a little more handsome, but other than that, we're basically the same caster. And as you can see, we are already getting pretty deep into the banning here. So we got Olaf, the Galio, and the Rel, all really good bans taken out by the WyoBoomers. Akuma, they're gonna take out what at this point better be the Lethality Sivir, the Seraphine, and the Yone 2 is going to be knocked down.
Yep, all the bands are in. We're getting ready for that first pick. I'm excited to see what the Boomers are going to prioritize tonight. Again, this is a matchup with playoff implications. A 2-0 from the Boomers will see them force a tiebreaker of some sort with Akuma Glaives. And as we were talking about, Jimmy's favorite champion seems to be the league's favorite champion. That Hecarim going to be prioritized once again.
Yeah, no, Hecarim's picked up by the Boomers here, and that is actually going to be Rosero piloting that. So I actually think, for the record, Rosero kind of got the short end of the stick when it came to the junglers, but someone had to come in fourth, and it was him indeed. So yeah, he's going to be manning that Hecarim, and I think we've seen him on this pick before. He's always looked pretty dominant on it too. Kuma Glaives, they're going to grab up the Xayah, who has really rose to prominence in like the last few week or two of League of Legends, and Nocturne 2 is going to be grabbed up. I'm just going to assume that's a jungle Nocturne. I'm not expecting to get any of that wild shenanigans solo queue mid lane Nocturne. So far, though, I do think Boomers are feeling pretty good after getting the Hecarim pickup.
Okay, we'll have to see what they go with here. The Jhin gonna be locked in. We'll see what they round out their phase one with. I gotta say, Juicebox, that Nocturne is becoming less and less just like some solo queue BS. This thing has been played mid and top and jungle across the world. Not that often, but it has been flexed in 3 different roles. So I'm actually very excited that Akuma are drafting this. I think this has a lot of flexibility because if you want to talk about I Am No Jedi again, super heavy roaming style. He loves champions that can farm and roam. Ooh. Nocturne. If you want to talk about focusing on Giga, Nocturne. If you want to talk about giving some more, letting Mal Stixie, letting Budicus, whoever's starting tonight, get a little bit of oomph on their chest and prove that they can jump. Nocturne, Nocturne is the answer to all those questions.
Oh yeah, no, he hurts right now, but unfortunately, I'm gonna have to go back to the Xayah pick. Tooper's gonna be racking that one, and Xayah Alistar is a good lane, no doubt about it, but you got to remember, you're going up against Palm Goat, right? You're going up against what half of us consider to be the best AD carry in the league, and half of us consider to be the best support in the league, and Birdman on the Nautilus. I think that Akuma Glaives have really set themselves up decently with the Xayah and the Alistar. You can play very safely with it, but you're still dealing with the Hecarim. You're still dealing with the best bottom lane in the league. Or at least the second best, if you want to be a pessimist about it. These guys are awesome, and they will dominate. So, Nocturne, you're gonna need to help get onto that Jhin, and I do think that I think that it's probably about the best pick for Budicus or whoever they decide to play for Glaives to get onto the Jhin, but I think this bottom lane is going to need some help.
Yeah, the bottom lane might just need some help. It is a lot of comfort that's come out for the Boomers. I don't think we've seen Palm Goat on Jhin on stream, but we know he likes to play those caster AD carries. We know he's comfortable on it, and Birdman Nautilus is his bread and butter. So should be feeling super, super good about their phase one will be WyoBoomers. But we do see the final bans come in. Gnar and Orianna taken away by Akuma. Victor Shen gone from WyoBoomers. And the Cho'Gath going to come in. We've seen Giga play this once already. It was fairly successful, but it does offer a very, very tanky body that can get some setup and give some safety to the Xayah.
Yeah, and you got to remember, Cho'Gath, especially with Giga piloting the champion, is very scary. It really shores up a lot of the missing AP damage that Akuma Glaives are looking for here. And that ultimate will just eat a Jhin by the end of the game. It won't even Like, it's like, dodge this one, buddy. R. And he's gone. And he's just disappeared from the map. Volibear going to be the top laner. WyoBoomers are going to try to fight him with Papa Francesco going to be manning that one. And you know, as skewed as I think the bottom lane is going to be for WyoBoomers, it's the top side that I really want to see Akuma Glaives kind of try to get that Cho'Gath ahead, try to get Giga to a state of power. But Ari grabbed by the Boomers, and Trinity is an insane mid laner. He wants to put on a carry performance tonight.
Yeah, Trinity, we talked all about him in that second team all league and gonna get the early carry pants here tonight on the Ahri. We've seen that Everfrost Ahri rising in priority across the world for its ability to create early picks. I know there are a lot of people that aren't, oh boy, the quirky. There are a lot of people that aren't a fan of the Ahri because not a lot of AoE, etc. But the Everfrost charm combo is so devastating. It can just delete someone from a fight, and it's gonna be in the hands of one of the best mids in the entire league, the carry on the side of WyoBoomers. We see the Corki come into it. That is a pick that can be punished very, very heavily. But if I Am No Jedi can stay alive in lane, get to a later stage in the game, that Corki, of course, is going to be a much stronger member. It does relegate Nocturne to the jungle, so we will see Malstixi on that. And I think the interesting thing here for me, Juice, is that, you know, we talked about I Am No Jedi being a roaming player. He plays the Nico, he plays the Malzahar, he plays a lot of push and roam champions. Corki is not that.
No,
Corki is a scaler. That is a team fighter. So they are giving a lot of priority, a lot of carry potential to their mid laner to match up against Trinity tonight.
I hate that pick. I'm just going to come out and say it. The thing that Akuma Glaives have drafted for themselves as a whole, right? You have the Cho'Gath. Takes a while. All right. In the beginning, he's just a little velociraptor before he turns into his T-Rex form. Corki takes a long while. Zaya's going to take a little bit to get online, and Nocturne, of course, is really useful in the early mid game, especially, but he can just become that big assassin in the late game. The thing is that I don't see how in the world Budakis is going to be able to run this Nocturne early on. It's going to be super hard for him to find his ganks and get himself ahead like he needs to. Over on the WyoBoomers, this is a very, very dominant mid-game draft. If the Boomers have any sense of macro whatsoever, I don't know if the Glaives are ever actually going to have a chance to be able to beat down the Boomers. It's just Akuma Glaives could just get beaten so early on, and I do want to correct myself. It is Malstixi on the Nocturne and not Budakis, but my point still remains.
Yeah, I think the point does still remain, but yeah, the Corki will be an interesting one. It needs to stay alive, and like you said, it's a bit of a weird combo with Nocturne, who, you know, once he hits level 6, wants to be in your face, wants to be all over you, to get ahead, to snowball the game. So will be a little interesting to see where they play the Nocturne around, you know, how they combo this up. I would expect to see more of those ultimates used maybe in the bottom lane, maybe in the top lane. You know, Volibear can probably be taken advantage of if Giga is playing the lane well, and Jhin is a pretty immobile carry before the Gale Force does come in. So there are some options for the Nocturne, but I think, like you said, just the mid jungle synergy that they're gonna want at level 6, maybe not quite there.
Yeah, it's just gonna be really difficult for Nocturne to really get involved early on. You know, there's proactive and reactive playstyles, and Akuma Glaives, they're gonna have to be going hardcore reactive for about 12 or 13 minutes, I'd say, and then maybe they can start making some plays, and they're gonna have to wait a while longer before they can make any big plays. I just think that when you force a Nocturne into that reactive sort of style, you're asking for punishment.
Yeah, you certainly could be, but, you know, we'll have to find out how these are going to be played. Again, these are two, you know, massively talented teams fighting for the 3rd spot in the league, so we should expect some fireworks. But I got to ask you, after looking at the drafts here, Juicebox, who are you going to be looking at? What lane are you going to be like? Who's going to win this game number 1?
All right, we got a tale of two cities, right? Bottom side, all Boomers all day. I just think that the combination of Palm Goat and Birdman are gonna be wreaking havoc on the poor souls in Tupper and Toy. I think that that's gonna be a disaster. But the top side is where the Glaives can really triumph, right? You got Giga with this very notable Cho'Gath. I mean, Cho'Gath's gonna hurt. And Papa Francesco has been a bit of a coin flip top laner. So I really think the big question mark is how are these mid jungles going to play around their side lanes, because they're going to be generating leads on totally different parts of the map.
All right, you heard it here. Will it be Trinity or Rosero, or I Am No Jedi and Mal Stixie carrying their teams? We will find out right after this break, where Necrox and Doctor will be joining you for our first cast of the night in game number 1 between WyoBoomers and Akuma Glaives. Stick around.
Hey, DJ coming at you. Giving some love out to all you Excellency fans. Shout out to Smoke, Top Gap, Owzy. We ain't out here without you. We are Akuma, our weapon choice Glaives. Heavy League best be remembering our names. We came to smash you in every game till we in Excellency Hall of Fame. What? Never heard of us? Listen up, everybody. You're gonna learn something today. Come from the great north, but we still be fire. Winning it all is our only desire. All will be burned on the path that we pave, especially all those imposters on Glaive. We are the devilmen, you the crybaby. Invoke our inner Amon on the daily. Piling pressure in waves as the flood. Matter of time till we draw in first blood. Stack up them drakes like a young Christian Bale. Laugh as your coach tries to draft going pale. All your defenses erased from the rift. Gonna finish you off and be spamming Team Diff. Hey, Dory K, first night and knee in the booth. Dunzy and Jake, MCEZ at the helm. I see you, Mitchell. OG Bequest Mans running it behind the scenes. We don't need our superstar Levi Ackerman. AOT, we thought we'd die when we axed him. Running through players like Hiko and Nade, cause we got the scouting and talent in spades. Cooper the man gonna put you to shame when you see his creep score at the end of the game. Never goes far, signs his favorite toy. Man's always starting the fights for the boys. Don't you forget that the Buddha's a devil. Got belly and brains to go hit that next level. Putting down Cass and his fans to Nirvana. Ain't got no time for ooh dear prima donnas. I am no Jedi, but he's still a master. Call him Ahsoka Tano, he just gonna move faster. Man can bend minds on his UV cop main. He'll have you rooted, then bloom you've been slain. Cherry on top, he don't stay in his lane. Got a champion Ocean to dish out the pain. Unkillable demon who calls all the shots. Ringleader of all Akuma clan squads. And you can try to run, you can try to fight, you can try to flash, ghost, ignite. But before you know it, wave is floating, you be choking, losing focus, hocus pocus, and suddenly you've been got, yeah! Look, y'all know it's predestined. Every roll we armed with finely tuned weapons. Akuma be channeling sets we know how to. No X-Luke for you always lose at the lotto. To fire and brimstone we dragging you down where you know we claiming our heavy league crown.
Welcome, everybody. Here we are hitting the Rift as we do on our first matchup of the night. I'm the Doctor, being joined by Necrox, who I don't know if they are muted or just disappeared. But it's our first match of the night. It is going to be the WyoBoomers going up against the Akuma Glaives, and the Boomers are getting quite cheeky with their
I'm back,
initial approach
Doctor.
here. All right.
I'm ready.
And they walked
I'm
over
ready,
the ward.
man. I'm ready. It was all a debate. I was just waiting to see if the invade happened. I was going to give you the first play of the game, but no. We are back with our first match of the night here in Excellency Heavy League. Of course, I am Necrox, joined by the one and only Doctor, and this is it, right? If you want a game to get this third place seed, you got to put it all on the line, and instead of going with a normal League of Legends script, we're getting an Omni Stone Corki from Jedi and Mouse Stixie's running the Conqueror on the Nocturne Jungle.
Yeah, it's quite a difference here, and I was actually trying to look some stuff up to see if this is like the standard build for Corki, because I gotta be honest, it has been a minute since I played Corki, and Champion.gg is down, so I don't have an answer for you on that front, but it's definitely something different. I it's not something that we see a lot of in general. Omnistone is just not that good. So it's interesting that it is going to be picked up here. We'll have to see how that actually plays into how the laning phase goes. You can pick up, barrier or cleanse or ignite even, and, really kind of sway some of these trades. And I do kind of think that for a minute, Ari might actually have a bit of an advantage here. Corki not particularly amazing for the first couple levels, especially just not having any items behind him and to back him up. So I do think Ari will have a bit of an advantage here.
I hate to burst your bubble, Doctor, but that's spellbook Corki. This is Omnistone. We're getting different keystones. We're getting engaged in level 2. Birdman's looking for the plays. And of course, it's Palm Goat and Bird to force out early summoners out of Tooper and Toy. Both flashes going to be expended here at 2.5 minutes. At 7.5 is when those will come right back online.
All right, you got me. I actually haven't seen either of those keystones ever, basically. So this is just all the more confusing, and a quick peruse of the internet does tell me that Fleet Footwork is traditionally the Corki keystone of choice. You get that whole tree going along with you. It's great. This is a nice engagement here.
Nice hook from Birdman. The feathers won't even root him up, so Toy's going to be taken down to about a quarter HP. That's a nice Dark Harvest stack for Palm Goat. We'll feel good. We'll not force shot in his hand, but we'll just be fine to walk away. No problems there at all, but yeah, these mid laners not sticking with the script here. We were talking about in the Analyst Desk earlier when I was still sitting on it that we wanted to see Trinity and Jedi get this comeback story, make mid lane great again, and well, I'm not sure if Ari and Omnistone Corki are the way to do it, but that's exactly where they're headed this game. So we do have a Tale of Two Cities, though, Doctor. We were talking about it with Juicebox guys, especially off air, that it's Palm Goat and Bird that should be dominating this game, but Giga, Mouse, Dixie, and Jedi could run over this one before Palm Goat Birdman get a chance to influence the map.
Yeah, it is an opportunity to be had. I mean, Cho'Gath is extremely strong right now, so Giga has a great pilot up in the top lane here. And going up against Papa Francesco, who is a great top laner statistically, which seems to be my word of the night. It's a tough matchup to be sure. And, hopefully I am crossing my fingers as hard as they go. We don't get that disgusting AP Volibear.
Oh, a nice hook from Birdman. The deadly flourish to follow, but Toy's the real one in trouble. But that's a beautiful headbutt into the tower, and Toy will claim first blood to this red side squad. I cannot believe they get away 1-for-1. Akuma, Glaives fighting back, but Wyo claim one all the same. Palm Goat picking up his first kill of the match.
Yeah, great stuff there. Resetting that Dark Harvest too. I think we're up to 2 stacks now, which is quite good pace so far. Going to be able to continue building those up. And that is what really makes Jhin a bit of a tank slayer to a certain degree. Once you start hitting like close to 20 stacks on that, you start actually really chunking people out once they hit that 50 HP mark. So tanks, traditionally Jhin's weakness, sort of kind of still melt to a certain level. So great stuff there. You're starting off early. You're able to get that first blood, able to pick up a couple extra CS as well. You're going to go back to base quite even, but you are going to get the first buy. And so with it being the kill versus not kill, they're able to pick up that quill and a little bit of extras where, Tooper is kind of forced onto just the Berserker Greaves, only had 1,300 even, so he can't justify buying the quiver there and not coming back to lane without any potions.
And I'm curious to see Rosero. He's put a lot of energy down to this bot lane now. Hasn't really spent too much time topside. It's been Mal60 heading up there, but not finding any action. So Giga, if he wants to be a threat in this game, gonna have to find something. Had his base interrupted, so that will mean that Giga has to take a late recall, and Palm Goat, Bird, and Rosero all will be on the first dragon. So that one will go over to WyoBoomers. There you go. It's Infernal picked up as the first one. Second's gonna be Mountain. So we're either getting an Ocean, which may be the best mountain, or excuse me, the best soul in the game to claim, or Cloud, which is not as exciting, if you will.
I'm going to challenge you on that. I think looking at these teams, that might actually be more exciting, right? Like having the ultimate cooldown in there as well as the bonus move speed after using your ultimate when you have champions like Nocturne, Cho'Gath, Volibear, Hecarim. Like these are all high profile ultimates that do a lot of game-changing stuff come mid and late game. So having those off cooldown that much quicker and having a little bit extra bonus, I think that's actually a lot more visually entertaining than just Ocean Soul, which just means you never die.
You know what, Doctor? You sold me. I'm ready for Ocean Soul, but I'm ready for the engagement. The bot lane is Rosero's gonna throw back Toy into the squad. The Deadly Flourish will keep this cow in his place and turned into a beautiful hamburger as Palm Goat gets his second here at 7 minutes in. This Jhin is going to execute Akuma Glaives.
Listen, here's what happened, Necrox. Palm Goat watched our pre-show, okay? Saw everybody slighting them from the first team, where I had them, by the way, and they took it personally, right? Like, they are coming in with a vengeance. They had the Sivir band away, which was looking to be a bit of a crux in previous weeks, right? Like, that was the champion that they were so deadlocked onto.
Oh, Birdman, the flash hook, the ignite! Palm Goat flashing forward with the final shot in the back of the Xayah. Tooper is dead and Palm Goat is here. This bot lane came to play tonight, and WyoBoomers are not looking to be no second all-pro team. They're not looking to be outclassed by the likes of Alistair, Palm Goat, and Birdman. No, he's not roaming across the map, but it's laying kingdom here in bot lane.
Yeah, and it's just going to continue getting worse. I mean, Xayah has been on the come up recently, and we've been seeing a lot more of it, both professionally and here in Excellency. And something that I was told last week during one of these drafts is that Xayah is great, right? Xayah has a lot of good utility and a lot of great usage, that hyper carry potential. But as the low range AD carry that's not very safe, like not super safe, does have a lot of kind of fallbacks here, especially when you're coming in against this aggressive team that the Boomers have built for themselves. They have the dive of the Hecarim, the dive of the Volibear on Papa Francesco, Birdman clearly on point with these depth hooks, the hooks in general. Once the depth charge comes in, it's just another thing. And so you can only dodge out of one thing.
Oh, Jedi has to flash away, but the charm will keep him locked in place, Doctor. And while you were giving us the critical analysis, Birdman went top, got Giga's flash, then immediately went mid lane. I'm telling you, Birdman is #1 support in the league, and this is why. He gets his laner ahead. Palm Goat's now chilling on the Jhin. He's headed topside, he's headed mid, he's claiming the life of this Omni Stone Corki, and now he's headed back down bot lane. Birdman is finding impact across this map one way or another, and WyoBoomers, they got 100% of the vote from chat, and they are 100% in a commanding spot in this game.
Absolutely nutty start here. I mean, it's 4-1. Everybody except for the jungler is ahead. Yeah, actually, Rosero is the only one that's fallen behind both in CS and in total gold. So just, it's crazy, right? Like, this is a team that was voted so highly both by us here on the desk and the community, and they're showing they don't think that was highly enough. And heading into playoffs, this is an amazing form to be hitting, and you are coming in, you do need to peak at the right time. It's not something we've actually touched upon as, a broadcast here, but, peaking early in the season, right? Like, going 6-0 is great. It might get you to playoffs, But if you then fall as you hit the playoffs, right? Like if all of a sudden Glaive Amethyst start falling off, then they're a bit early. They're a bit premature, this is the kids say. Whereas Boomers right now are looking to be heating up exactly when they need to.
And they're heating up as we crest the 10.5-minute mark, Doctor. This one is an absolute bloodbath, but it's only going one way. It's a slaughter here on the side of WyoBoomers. Akuma Glaives just can't fight back. Giga's not getting anything done in this top side. He's down 3 CS. Like, sure, it's not a lot, but his bot lane is just suffering. 30 CS down from Palm Goat to Tuper. And 3 kills to boot as well. Papa might just die, but there's the Nocturne ulti. It's in the paranoia, and that's going to cause nightmares for Papa Francesco, but it does not matter. His team's in the bot lane getting Dragon all the same, and that's going to be 2 to the side of Wyo.
Yeah, I mean, it's nice so far that they do finally get something into the top, but thank the gods Papa Francesco is going the tank route, right? Like, we were tormented to that AP Volibear previously, and it's just not a thing, right? It's like making fetch happen. It doesn't work. So now we're getting that chem tank. It's an item that has been causing so much horror in the league community right now. It's so good. You have to build it. Both top laners actually get it at the exact same time. And so what that means bigly for the Boomers is that they don't really care if their top laner ints, because they're not there to be the carry. They're there to be that frontline beefy tank that causes disruption, causes crowd control, and just does tank-like things. And as the Volibear, they do get some great utility out of it.
Here we go, dive in the bot side. Tuber's gonna have to make the feathers fly nice and early. Birdman trying to get away from the turret, but he just can't do it in time, and Toy has found the first kill of the fight. But in comes a TP in for the top lane. Giga's arrived, and the shutdown's gonna be handed over to Jedi, as Rosero's not long for the world. Double kill to the Corki, and all of a sudden, Akuma Glaives, with a pull of the trigger, send Wyo back to the fountain.
It's a bit unfortunate, timing-wise, because we're over here talking up the Boomers and be like, yeah, they're the best. Why would you even consider any other team to be the best? And then Akuma Glaives is like, hey, guys, have you heard about us? We're here to play, too. And they just punish the heck out of that tower dive from the Boomers. And it looked good to start. They had that 4-man dive. Things started to go quite well. I think that the tower just did more damage than they were expecting to Birdman. Tuper also bought a lot of time with the ultimate there, who just kind of floated, right? The Feather Storm, it's exactly what it's there to use. They dodged they dodged down Subtle Shadows, which was a bit of a problem previously.
Papa trying to get his way away, but having to use the flash. That's a nice long cooldown. They'll be happy with that one. They'll take the trade, no problem. Just sending Mouse 60 up here on the top lane to get that flash off of Papa. Now Giga gets to shove in his wave, and now Trinity's on the move trying to look for some sort of roam, but Giga is wise to these threats. Will have that Scuttle Crab and now put down some vision of his own. Edgerstare will do the best to clear that one away, but still, it's Palm Goat, man, farming away on this bot tier turret. Plates still have not fallen for the next 30 seconds, so every bit of gold it gets down here will be that much more impactful as we head into this mid-game.
Yeah, and these next couple minutes are going to get kind of spicy because we have the first Rift Herald spawning. Actually, no, it's the second Rift Herald, excuse me. Right? Yeah, where did the first one go?
I believe so, yes. It was used mid, and now this one is going to second Rift Herald if either team does want to claim that one.
Yeah, so we have the Rift Herald spawning again. We have the Dragon in 2 minutes after that, minute and a half after that. And so, we're still kind of in this like early-ish mid, stage where Boomers do have just an intrinsic advantage. They have the stronger champions as it is on one item. Some of these champions, for the most part, don't have one item. It's just Palm Goat and the top laners and, Malstixi who have their mythics. So it's just an awkward fight to be had here. So I do think Boomers will be able to pick up the Herald if they so choose. They should be able to get the Dragon on spawn as well, which does put them on Soul Point, and it would be a 21-minute Soul Point here as the Cloud Drake. So pretty quick there, and it's up to Akuma to really kind of catch them out. And while that tower dive looked really good for Akuma, it was definitely off of a mistake from the Boomers, right? Like, if they don't tower dive there, they don't give up 4 kills. If they just keep slowly advancing, one at a time, waiting for Toy and Tuper to push a little bit like they have been, then you get a little bit, slower of an advantage, but you get a better advantage.
Here you go in the bot lane as well as Mal 60's gonna come in with the paranoia trying to find Birdman, but this Nautilus is tanky, but they get him all the same. Tuper's found the first kill of the fight. Mal 60's low. Palm Goat puts a 4th shot in the back of the Nocturne, but can't quite cause him to fall on over. Toy will tank up a couple shots. Tuper has to tank the rest, but the jungler's on the way, man. You're caught with your hands in your pockets, and WyoBoomers are coming to punish. As Jedi came down, but he just has to run away. Trinity throws out the charm, not able to connect. The Deadly Flourish will. But it does not matter. 3 members of Akuma the Glaives have gone down in the fight. And that was a beautiful ulti from Palm Goat to keep them all bunched up. And Rosero spreads them out like bowling pins.
That's just so disrespectful. Like, they see the curtain call, and I understand it, right? Like, they're trying to protect the low health members. Both Toy and Malstixi were pretty much going to die to a 4th shot if it connects. So they like, all right, we'll just hang out. We don't want to give up any inch here. American Sniper Palm Goat coming out. And they're just like, AFK, and the rest of the team punishes the crap out of it. You see Rosero come flying in at Mach speed, Trinity comes over the wall, and because the teleports of Jedi and Giga were not available, it is not a repeat of that bottom tier 1 tower dive. It is this early game Boomer focus coming out ahead, and it's because they got to get to bed on time, right? Like, they need to speedrun this, and that is how you do it. They get the 3rd dragon. Things are looking amazing for them so far, and for now, there's nothing that they can't do, and they're going to be able to contest for this Rift Herald if they so choose. I don't think they will. I don't think they're really that worried about it, but the option's there.
The option's there, and the Rift Herald will be focused down here by Akuma. We'll see if they can finish that one off, but really, WyoBoomers, they need to get to bed, but they need to get this 3rd seed, Doctor. They're on their way to glory, but Birdman's on his way into the bot lane once more. Rosero's here to follow, and the Deadly Flourish won't connect, but it does not matter. Tuper's dead every day of the week. Rosero's going to put in the last auto attack to take down Mr. Tuper. Good night, see ya in about 23 seconds, but the Rift Herald was claimed, so 80 carry for Rift Herald, call it a wash.
It does give more gold over to this Hecarim, though, who has now completed the Mythic, has the plate of Steel Caps behind it as well. So I think that's a little scary. You are going to get some great tower pressure here as well. It does look like Malstixi just kind of took it and went back to the jungle, didn't opt to try and force down that top tier 1. So they actually lose out on first brick, which is quite troubling. They also lose the mid tier 1. Yeah, so that is a lot of gold lost. And top tier tower has like no HP left on it because Papa Francesco has been shoved in. They could have taken the Herald, just run top while they were killing Tuper, and gotten first brick with it.
And this is a 1,000 gold flip from Rosero. He was down 600 gold earlier in this game. But all of a sudden, with these plays that the Hecarim's been finding with beautiful onslaughts, now up 400. Palm Goat is the real carry, though, on this team. Up nearly 2k gold, just above 1.5 is Giga and Papa will handshake an auto or two there. No problem getting away. But yeah, Malstixi really missing out on that Rift Herald play, Doctor. I thought they'd get first turret, but instead is Malstixi holding on to that one for a rainy day. Maybe trying to set up for Dragon, but I don't think he has enough time left on the timer for the Herald to be able to hold on to that one.
Yeah, it's almost halfway gone, and there's still 2.5 minutes to the final Drake, so I do think that you are correct in your timings. Not a math major, though, so we both could be wrong on that front. Yeah, but I mean, yeah, what do you gain from this Herald, right? And every time the Herald gets picked up, you kind of have to think about what you gain from it. And so Boomers made the correct choice. They got the first one pre 10 minutes, so you're guaranteed to get tower plates out of it. They did so, and even though it was completely off screen because we were so busy focused on the bot lane, it ended up mattering because they were able to get 2 towers in the span of a couple seconds, which is a huge boon of gold to the carries. Trinity gets caught up a little bit, but not the biggest deal. Whereas when you look at Akuma Glaives taking the second Herald, it was a huge time investment. It took Giga, Malstixi, and Jedi to actually go for it. And then you see Tooper and Toy, who had run up into the river, which on a good day is kind of scary, just looking at the team that the Boomers have. And unfortunately, they do get punished by Tooper dying. You know, had flash available, but wasn't in a position in the bush that they could even get a cheeky flash over the wall. They had to walk a little bit further. And I don't remember if they had the ultimate available, but they were pretty heavily CC locked. So they might not even have the option to ult at that point. And so with that kill, it then opened up bot tier 1. And then just I don't even know where Jedi went, to be honest, but Trinity got so much free time on that mid tower as well that they were able to claim that. So now it's less than a quarter of a time cooldown here for Malstixi on that Herald, and they're gonna have to pop a mid. Like they simply don't have an option here. And there's 40 seconds to Drake, so I guess the timing works. But I think
just about.
I think if you Boomers, if Boomers, you're just like, who cares? It's mid tier 1. Just take it. We'll claim the Dragon Soul. We'll unlock like a 27-minute Elder Drake, and we'll see you there in a couple minutes.
Yeah, and you can see the intention here with the Rift Herald. They're trying to get it down, trying to get the pressure. But Boomers don't care. They'll give their tier 1 for the soul, and now the pressure's on Akuma Glaives. The pressure coming into the match should have been on Boomers to make this one happen, but they have played this early game so damn well. Now the pressure's on Akuma Glaives. There's Rift Herald being summoned. Giga's gonna be hooked in to start off the fight, but a silence will mean Birdman has to walk away and knock up as well onto Bracero, but everyone is here, Doctor. Rift Herald still has not charged. Dragon is available, but Wyo are pulling back to defend their turret, and now it's Akuma Glaives that have first track onto the Dragon. Toy in for a knockup. There's the hook onto the Alistar, but there he goes. You're engaged onto the back line. Rosero's here with the onslaught of shadows, but there's now 60 to follow. Onto the back line, Papa Francesco's found his way into Tooper, but the feathers still haven't been pulled. He's the first one down out of the fight. Mal 60 is going to be the soon next to follow. Jungler's dead. No smite available. Keep that in mind, but the shield is going to be popped from Jedi. As Palm Goat dashing forward aggressively, but Tooper with a beautiful ulti will turn this fight around, and it's Akuma Glaives that deny Palm Goat the hero play, and they will deny Cloud Soul from going the way of WyoBoomers. Tooper turning that fight around, and somehow Akuma Glaives hold on.
What a chaotic fight that was. There was so many things happening there. We saw a bit of an engage coming in. Both the supports going at it. They both used their engages and finally got something going. And then we see Rosero kind of sort of almost engage, you know, through that top river bush. And then as soon as they got a little bit of attention, plus the, you know, I think it was the package that actually brought Jedi to the other side. And then you see Mal60 come flying, chasing after the onslaught of shadows. And I don't know what happened to Rosero. I'm fully going to be honest with you. They ulted in the complete opposite direction of Akuma. And they were chasing a single person was what happened. And I get it. You can't see. You're blind. That's the nightmare effect. It's what you're going to have to deal with. But it caused so much problems for the Boomers there not having that ultimate connect, because if they just gone forward, it's a 4-man onslaught of shadows and it completely changes the fight there. And Palm Goat trying to go for that hero play, they didn't have the dancing grenade available after dashing in. They just used it beforehand, and that could have been like a quadra kill had that connected at that point. And the Gale Force thought they were doing something. Trinity also missed 3 charms, which again, had those hit, changes the fight completely. Rosero, what are you doing?
Oh, Giga is going to get his TP canceled, so won't be able to join this fight. Papa still has his available. His toy will be chunked down, but I gotta call Palm Goat out, man. He dashing forward with the Gale Force. You could feel the AD carry energy, feeling himself. He's so far ahead, but not anymore. He's got a pickaxe up on his opponent. So Tooper is sitting in a good spot after that nice fight. Has 2 items as well, waiting to pick up that third. But Palm Goat, man, that was your fight to dominate. And instead, Tooper making the feathers fly, making the plays happen here for Akuma Glaives will get them right back into this game. They are now 1,000 gold ahead of WyoBoomers, who had dominated the early game, Doctor, but now are starting to slip away.
Yeah, and I mean, this is Jin, right? Once you use that Gale Force aggressively, you don't have a way out. You are going all in, all forward, just like that. Giga,
There you go.
all in, no escape. The feast comes out big, and I think Birdman's probably dead here too.
Cooper maybe in a little bit of trouble if Rosero wants to find the back line, but here comes Mal 60 from downtown.
Giga.
The double knockup from Giga, but somehow everyone in Wyo gets away. A nice Everfrost from Trinity will keep Akuma Glaives here in place for a little bit, but the Feathers are still going forward. Rosero has to get away with the TP into a bad spot from Papa May, just cost him his life, bringing down the Storm, trying to get back away to his turret, and Wyo's on the chase, but they just can't get away in time as Akuma Glaives will track you down and eat you for dinner. 4 members wiped off the map and a triple kill for Jedi. You lose your life for it, but it does not matter. Akuma Glaives taking another winning team fight in mid. It was slow, it was painful, it was egregious, but they're still coming out ahead. And now, with Baron on the board, they might just be headed there.
Listen, I'm not going to say Giga should have been on first team. It's just where I placed him. And this is definitely showcasing why. I mean, the Cho'Gath is so strong right now, and it's a problem that everybody has been talking about since the draft phase, right? It is an unkillable void monster. The Chem Tank, the Thornmail, following it up with some more items. It is just so impossible to take this thing down. Giga is so massive, is only going to gain massiver as they continue to get these stacks and items. And, you know, they're 2-0-10. I think that 0 is going to stay there. I don't see a world where they go down. It's not possible. They don't have the team to do it because the consistent damage doesn't show here for Boomers, right? They don't have a Tristana, they don't have a Jinx, they don't have a Kaisa. It's Jin. It's basically a cooldown dependent carry because you only get 4 shots and you're done.
It's 4 shots and you're done, and the team fight can just break out, and Jedi and Tupa are going to continue to wail away on your team. And now that this Corki is 7-2, Doctor, 3 items in hand, Jedi's gonna hurt a whole hell of a lot, and this is what we want to see from the top side of Akuma Glaives. Jedi popping off on this random Omnistone Corki. Moustixie making that backline effort. Giga sitting here with 0 deaths. I talked about this on the analyst desk. Has less than a death a game on average, and has 0 at this point. 27 minutes in, 15 seconds until Soul has arrived, and this might just be your final fight of the game.
Oh, I think that's a super spicy take. There's still a lot of towers here. There's still a lot of ways to go before.
I can see a good play running it down mid if they get a 5-man wipe here. No joke. No meme.
Okay. Oh, man. It's Giga Diff. It's so big. We're going to get a little bit of engage here. Oh, that's huge!
Dolly, you've got to be kidding me, but the fight's gonna break out. There the Feathers go. They found Rosero, the first one to fall, and Papa is not long as well. The Deadly Flourish comes in, but now the curtains have opened. Jedi has to get away, but he's gonna be shut down by Trinity. Palm Goat on the run, has a 4-shot flash forward, will find the Alistar. Trinity has gone down, but Palm Goat traded it right back, but the Soul just can't be picked up. There's no way Palm Goat can get in, and Giga's still here in the front line, still yet to die. Are they gonna chase down this Jin? This is an AD carry's worst nightmare. Knock up, kill, and it's an ace for Akuma Glaives.
This top combo from Akuma Glaives is so scary. You have freaking Stride Breaker, Nocturne, and Chem Tank Cho'Gath. Like you said, it is literally every carry's worst nightmare. You will never escape this. Not only is Stride Breaker broken, Chem Tank is broken, tanks are broken, damage is broken. It's all broken here for Akuma Glaives, and they're going to continue running down the members of the Boomers. And even though there was that great shot there at the end from Palm Goat to be able to trade that kill on the toy, at that point you just full send away, right? Like there's no reason to be hanging out in this Tribush after that, and you give up the kill for free. You mess up the timing on the rest of the team because you were dead an extra 16 seconds past the rest of your team, and it is going to give the opportunity for the vision control over Baron to fall towards Akuma Glaives. And look at this, they're double manning it, they have the buddy system in place, they're getting the wards down, and it's gonna be really scary for the Boomers to try and take that away from them, because even if the buddy system, we've seen how quickly they melt. I mean, Papa Francesco's the tank, and even with the Steric Shield, which is huge, that was like a full HP Steric Shield that popped. It is so quick to die because there's nothing backing up just that fat shield.
Man, Toy with a beautiful engage, flashing to win his team that fight. This Alistar is simply built different, and now with a gold lead, Akuma Glaives are looking to silence the hopes and dreams of WyoBoomers fans and players alike. And Jedi sitting at 8-3, Tooper on 3 items, has the LDR completed, but it's Wyo who has first track to this Baron, trying to get some vision, but I don't think they can start this one, Doctor. That would be a death wish. We'll have to back away for now. And if you're a Akuma Glaives fan, you're feeling confident. All you need is one game to secure 3rd place.
Yeah, and it's tough because, you know, that is the nature of these best of 2s. We do have that new series here, so it is such a huge disparity between going 2-0 and going 1-1, and, you know, that is the name of the season this time. So like you said, the one game here for Akuma Glaives does so much for them, and even...
They're looking to make the play on Jedi, and I'm not sure there's a way away, but the TP, this could be disaster if Giga falls. It would be his first death of the match, but Flash immediately away from the Cho'Gath. Got 3 items, but not against 4 members, man. There's no way you can make that one happen, as Wyo are headed straight to this Baron. They're confident to start this one up. This could be the game that turned things around for WyoBoomers, looking to lock in 3rd place. This is your fight to do it, my friends. You got to make this one happen. Trinity going to land a charm onto the front line. Giga's going to be locked up. The Toy going in. There's your launch shot of Slados. Tuber's going to bring back the feathers, but there's a Stormbringer. Not going to find very much. Flashing forward. Tuber trying to get away, but he's going to go low. He's shut down by Rosero. A big knockup from Giga, but Mouse Dixie's on the run. Has a large shield, but I'm not sure it can keep him alive, and WyoBoomers are on the chase, and they found kills. 4 to the side of Wyo, and the curtains will open. Will Giga die, or does he have his dancing shoes on? No, the 4th shot will not land, but Trinity still on. Flash charm, the Everfrost, and the shutdown to boot. It is a 5-man wipe here for WyoBoomers, and now they're headed to the Baron. They still are holding on.
The Palm God coming out once again, dragging this team from the bottom of the barrel, somehow able to pick up all of these kills off the back of a nice engage there, and Tooper almost spoiled it by just living, right? They used so many resources trying to kill Tooper, and the fact that they were eventually able to is what saved that fight, because once Tooper goes down, the damage coming from Akuma Glaives that fight was almost none. Jedi also was not involved there, and so it just wasn't the kind of fight that they really were able to change. You need both AD carries alive to be these, you know, constant damage threats, and Giga, for as big as they were, they're just a Cho'Gath, right? Like, once that ultimate's gone, they're just annoying. They're not, you know, a scary insta-kill threat, because they're an ultimate champ, right? If you're gonna be a damage threat, just pick Camille, who has Cho'Gath ultimate on a Q every 3 seconds. That's damage. Cho'Gath, you gotta wait like 45 seconds to be able to do it again.
As the feast available, though, this time you're gonna get one target that will feel the pain of the feast. Akuma Glaives hanging on barely to this game, but has to deny Cloud Soul away from the likes of Trinity, Rosero, and Palm Goat, who have been carrying this game. Birdman and Papa, they've been on the front lines, holding this one down. But Rosero, watch that onslaught of shadows onto the back line. Jed's over the wall with the package. This could get a little bit dicey. The Dragon's at about 3,500. Toys going in with a double knockup. Rosero's onto the back line, down to the 3-man beer. But it's Palm Goat to get the Dragon, and the kills will follow. It's a 1-for-1. Palm Goat's gone down. I am no Jedi's gonna fall as well. Still in the back line is Papa, but he will fall as Tooper cuts him down to size. It's a 2-for-2, Doctor. No one has fallen just quite yet in terms of the base. Baron's still alive here for this blue side squad, but man, these fights are close. These pushes are made of inches, and Akuma Glaives and Wyo still are in this game at 33 minutes.
Listen, Palm God's still a thing, right? Stole the dragon, picked up a kill on top of it. Just great play from the Jin right now. But Jedi's package was huge right there, and it completely kept Palm Goat in the grave. Once that happened, it becomes so hard to win a fight, and here we go again.
Oh, there's your hook from Birdman, and they found Tooper. He didn't have anything left after that last fight, and Toy's gonna go down as well to a nice charm from Trinity. And of course, it's Birdman to pick up the kill on the Toy. This man makes the plays, and he reaps the rewards. 21-22 on the scoreboard. But the gold lead with this Baron and Power Tower Siege will only start to balloon here for WyoBoomers as they're pushing down mid lane. Rosero, Birdman, Trinity, all alike sitting here in mid, and they will knock down this tier 2 in the mid lane to follow. There you go, a couple more shots, and there it goes. Crumbled onto the ground is that mid tier 2, and they're looking to push for more.
Yeah, I mean, they still got 20 seconds. TP coming in from Papa Francesco. This could actually be the game-ending scenario for you right now, Necrox. I mean, they are so far advanced right here. They are going to play it safe, though, which, trust me, that's the right call. You don't want to be over-committing and greedy with playoffs on the line. And so they are just going to take that safe play, fall away, keep building up this lead, getting as much gold as possible into the team. And now, I don't know. I think you just fall away, guys. Don't go too heavy in the paint. Just, you know, chill, lax. You got half mana on Rosero. You've been on the Rift for quite a long time. You have 2k gold onto Trinity, 1.5k gold onto Palm Goat. Just go back to base, guys.
Rosero whiffed the onslaught of Shadow Super is going to make the feathers fly as well. The curtains have been called, but nothing to find in terms of kills. Choi charmed up, but will find his way away at about half HP. The turret's low. As Palm Goat puts in a couple more shots, Birdman will barely avoid the knockup, but that thing has one more leg left on it. Palm Goat kicks its knee in, but not able to knock it down just quite yet. So low to exposing this inhibitor. 330 HP left on this turret. Birdman here tanking on the front lines. There you go. The turret's been knocked down. Mel 60's popped the paranoia. Rosero's looking for the chase, but nothing to find just quite yet. He's at about half HP. Keep your eyes on that jungler. Giga's been charmed. Birdman's going in for the hook. Toys on the back line, but they didn't find the engage that they wanted. Now it's WyoBoomers' turn to shine, but it's Akuma Glaives looking for the wipe. They're holding on to the base just for now, but Wyo back away. Giga's low, keeping himself alive. Now 60's here with about 25% HP as well, and somehow Toy is the only one to fall. That evens your kill lead at 22-22. And these teams, man, this is a playoff match. This is for third place, and neither of them want to give some sort of advantage to the other team.
The Boomers got lucky there. I'm not going to mince words. There was no reason to be overcommitting for that tower. They were so close to all falling. I mean, Palm Goat had like 5% HP, Papa Francesco maybe even less than that. It was so dangerous to be committing to that. And if Mouse 60 had actually like gone aggressively with that ultimate, 100% the Boomers die there and they lose something. And so they get out cleanly, they get the tower, and they're able to reset now. I mean, they had so much gold in the bank. We're now seeing a death cap completed here. We're seeing other items coming in as well. They're breaking, you know, these item barriers that you can sometimes hit into that mid-late game stage. And now we're heading into the, you know, Shin late game, the ultimate late game version of these compositions where they're pretty much fully kitted out. You know, we're seeing 4 items on both 80 carries. There is so much damage in the tank here. We're even seeing a QSS come in from Jedi. You know, they're paying their tax. They don't want to be, you know, trapped up by Birdman or Trinity and have that, you know, flexibility to move around the rift when they do get crowd controlled. And so, I mean, look at this. The vision is looking okay around Baron. We do still have about 10 seconds to that, but I mean, they're just still going for towers. This could get scary. Package available, by the way. Jedi, huge threat right now.
Jedi has the package, and now it's WyoBoomers that are on the run, trying to get themselves away from the possibility of an engage. But at this Baron pit, this is where the fight that determines a 38-minute marathon could manifest. Rosero, thinking about recalling, won't quite do it, knows his team needs him here on this fight on the Baron, but it's up, and now Doctor 53 seconds on the next objective in the name of Elder Dragon. If both of these are up, this is where things get really terrifying for both these teams. Toy will be hooked in, Everfrost as well, but has the Alistar ulti, deny a little bit of damage. There's your paranoia, gonna make things a little bit harder to see. And oh no, Palm Goat's falling over. That's your 80 carry gonna go down. Rosero soon to follow as well. Oh, Papa's got a lot of shields, but I'm not sure it'll keep him alive. Tooper's free firing for the back line. Who's the better 80 carry now? It's Tooper that gets the kills and that gets this objective, if not just end the game. What's the macro call? Giga hits the Baron, but yes, this is the right decision. March straight down mid lane, and Akuma Glaives will get game number 1. You could only imagine Papa in a 1v4 has to hold the base.
That was so tragic for the Boomers, and I was stuck looking at the minimap because I was like, Toys alone, Toys alone! But there were only the 3 members of the Boomers there who don't really do all that much damage, you know, burst-wise, trying to kill Toy. And, you know, they had Palm Goat actually, you know, caught unawares by Giga up by the top tri-bush there, and you know, it is going to be game 1 going the way of Akuma Glaives, and a lot of it came down to that final fight because there was a split call. Some people wanted to go for Giga, who was far and away alone, and the other half wanted to go for Toy, who while alone had a little bit more, and critically got the auto attack stun onto Rosero, saving Tuper. If that stun doesn't come through at that exact moment, different fight, Tuper's dead, Palm Goat might live.
I was hoping Papa could hold that one out on the Nexus, drag that minion wave far away to deny the extra damage onto the turrets, but no, we're not going to see any possibility of a comeback from WyoBoomers, and with that game, if I'm not mistaken, WyoBoomers are going to have to deal with 4th place headed into playoffs, but to break down that game and what it means for these 2 teams, and to make sure my maths are correct, we're going to throw it on over to our analyst desks. DJ and Juicebox Guy, take it away.
Welcome back to the analyst desk, ladies and gentlemen. What a match we just witnessed between WyoBoomers and Akuma Glaives. Super exciting, down to the wire, a 40-minute thriller with a Drake Soul, nearly 2 Elders, and a gigantic Void monster, and a monster himself in Giga in that top lane.
Yeah, Giga just top-gapped that one real hard. Papa Francesco gave it a good run, but playing weak side against Giga is just a recipe for disaster. And we kind of saw how that went here, but I really want to talk about the bottom lane play that happened around 7 or 8 minutes. If you do recall the one where two or three members of the WyoBoomers died in a flubbed tower dive. This is a composition that the Boomers had that needed to get ahead, stay ahead, and get farther ahead. They did not do that at all. They got ahead. That checked the first box. And then they didn't check a single other box the entire rest of the game. I thought they were in good shape, but it just did not happen.
Yeah, they were in very good shape, particularly in that bottom lane, which is, you know, I don't think that was the wrong choice, just poorly executed.